Welcome to TNT Moms.
where we are blowing stuff up. I'm T,
And I'm Tammy.
and welcome to our second episode of our podcast.
Where we talk about everything related to moms.
Yes. So I know that the last podcast was too long ago, but we have been on CPT time. I am sorry because life has been lifing. So today's episode is Mommy, 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 when Daddy is sitting right there.
So the question is, why is it that as a mom, we could be on our deathbeds and our kids will run right past daddy
Right
to
past.
us to ask us a question or ask us for something when we on our deathbed?
All the time. Well, for me, I feel like I kind of enabled this and I started this problem. I created the monsters and the issue, and then I want to be the one to complain about it. So my hubby will be playing his game, okay? And when he's in a game on his Call of Duty in a match or whatever it's called, that will last for upwards 45 minutes, okay? So if anyone is asking him for something and the kids, you're not going to get it for those 45 minutes. Okay. So the house could be burning down. He's not getting up off that game. It's just not happening. So I can sometimes not be home and walk in with my hands full, and all the kids are rushing at me saying, Mommy, Mommy, we've been asking Daddy for to cut us up an apple for 40 minutes and we haven't done it. I mean, he hasn't done it. And I'm like, oh my goodness. There's other times when he's just here. And I said, you know what, guys, if you want it want it to be done quickly, then you know who your girl is, right over here, me, unless you want to wait 2 decades for your dad to do it. All right. So most of the time, that is why they are coming to me because they want it done quickly. And, who wouldn't? Who would want to wait that long for something? Not me. Would you?
So
I
you're the
wouldn't wait that.
problem.
So basically, I am the problem. I must say. Are you the problem?
No, I'm definitely not the problem.
Well,
No,
tell
I
me.
think I think for us, like it started when the kids was younger because my husband worked most weekends and worked long hours. So with me working from home, I was the one always around. So the kids got used to coming to me all the time for everything because he's at work, he's not home. So it got to the point because I created the schedule. I was in charge of the structure of the house and their
Mm-hmm.
life and everything. I made all the decisions, when they get out of school because daddy's not there, he's at work. I think my kids got to the point where they're like, mommy's in charge. Daddy's the one
Mm-hmm.
when he get home we have fun with. He takes us places. We
Mm-hmm.
play fight. Daddy's a good time. Mommy's the one in charge. So I think it just became this dynamic where we go to her to ask her everything because that's what they would do when he's not there. So when he was
Mm-hmm.
home, it still was like that would just carry over. It's like, yeah, we go to mommy for everything to the point where now he doesn't work as many hours as he did before and he's off on the
Mm-hmm.
weekends, but it's still the same thing where my kids, he would say something to him or they would ask him something, but then they'll look for me for the answer to make sure it was okay. Like even if he says
Mm-hmm.
yes, they'll still look at me and be like, is it okay? Because to them mommy's in charge.
Correct.
Mommy's in charge of daddy too, even to the point where, I went out to run an errand and my older daughter's home with him. And he's like, go ahead to your room and read for 30 minutes. And she looked at him and she was like, is mommy okay? Was that mommy's decision for me to do that? And he looked at her like, no, I'm telling you to do that. Because for her, it's like, well, she's the one that decides my schedule. She decides what I do from day to day. So I just think my kids think, I'm in charge of everything, and daddy has to listen to me too, to the point where they'll ask him for something sometimes. And if he says no, they'll go to me and ask me and then run to him and say, well, mommy said yes. He's like, she's not in charge of me. But I think because of that period of time where he wasn't at home as much, they're used to coming to me. So I'm in charge. I'm the one that's going to get it done for them. I'm the one that's going to answer all the questions and help them. So they're going to come to mommy. So I think that's, what happened with us. But the biggest question is,
Mhm.
when your husband see this, does he want to change it or he's okay and like, you know what, you keep going to your mommy?
Well, that's the thing. So I definitely think I don't think he wants to change it, but and I really don't think he's that upset also. Because I don't see him moving that fast, okay, when they ask him to do this stuff. So, but he it does always help, and that's the thing, and I always say, oh my goodness, why do I have to ask him to do, what I want him to do? But then I also have to remind myself, like, man, like you need to chill out because everything that I ask him to do, he does, and so he's very helpful, and that's I have to remind myself that there's a lot of people that are in relationships and their significant other or their husbands don't do anything with the kids, whether they're asked or they're not.
Hmm.
So, we are very lucky when it comes to like how our husbands help us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't like, he'll do anything, So I don't think like, yes, is he rushing to do it? No, because he's kind of on his own, marching to the beat of his own drum on his own pace, right? But he will do it, and he always helps out. So that's the thing. How about you?
I think for the most part he wants to change it because there's
Mhm,
moments where he'll step in and he'll say like you can ask me, you could come to
mhm,
me and not always go to your mom. So I think he wants it to change because there's moments where I can see the look on his face like, wow, they're just going to you and they're not coming to me.
mhm,
But
mhm,
I know I have to help with that change. I have to have those moments where I'm like, you know what, you can go to your dad, like you don't always have to come to me. So I know to help that change to happen and to help for him to make that change happen, I have to be a team player and, be like, okay, you can go to your dad this time. You don't always have to go to me. Like sometimes I'll whisper in their ear and I'm like, go ask your dad, go ask your dad,
mhm, mhm,
to help with it. So he doesn't know I'm telling him, but that I'm encouraging the change, that I'm encouraging them to go to him as
mhm,
well. They're starting to a little bit, but there's just these times where like just doesn't make sense. Like they will come out of their room, pass him in the living room, go through the kitchen, come to my bedroom, bust open my bathroom door, and it's like, "Mommy, can I get some chips?"
Oh
And I'm
my
like,
goodness.
"You cannot be serious in this moment.
They
Like
sure are.
I am on the toilet. You passed your dad. You even
Mm,
passed the
mm,
kitchen
mm,
where the chips are at."
mm,
But you
mm,
want to do all of that
mm,
to come to me. So in those moments, I'm like, look, you need to go to your dad. But I
mhm.
also have to be honest with there's moments when they do go to him, I get a little bothered because I'm like, they're not coming to me. You know what I'm saying? So like I remember, there's times with my little one like someone to lay with her or read
Mhm,
her book at night. And there's some nights she's like, Mommy, Mommy, can you lay with me? Mommy, Mommy, can you read a book?
mhm,
And most nights I enjoy it, but some nights it's late. And my little one is autistic, so she has trouble like winding down to go to sleep. So it's not late, like, oh, it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock. It's like, hey, we moving towards 11 o'clock at midnight. I don't have
mhm,
time to read a book. I want to go to sleep. But,
mhm.
that's what she wants. So it's like sometimes I'm like, hey, hubby, can you do it tonight? And he's like, sure. And he'll go do it. But then the next night, she's not calling me no more. She's calling him.
Mhm.
I was like, wanted him to help, and I wanted him to call her in that moment when she kept calling me. But then when she actually did it, I felt left out. It's like
Mhm.
I want to call him and ask for stuff, but there's certain things that when they start calling him for, I feel like, well, what about me?
Right,
So
right.
It's like I
Yes.
want the best of both worlds, and I can't have that.
And there's also times sometimes when they're like, "Mommy, mommy," and I'm like, "Go, it's your dad." And then he pops in right away, like, "What do you guys need? What do you want? What is it? I'll do it. Don't bother your mom anymore." He may be on a mission or doing something, and then I'm like, "Wait, what happened? What happened to, let me do it. Don't don't bother your mom." So it's back to me. Or if he does do it, that's great and I love it. But then I feel like a second later, you know how these kids are. You give them something, and then a second later, they need something else. So it's like, great. So he did do that, right? But then after he did that, and now maybe his next mission started or something like that. And then what happens? Okay. Then it's like, "Mommy, mommy, mommy." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, we're back to this." And it's been maybe what, 1 minute?
Mhm.
So that's another thing.
Yeah, and
So,
I think another thing with me, and that's a struggle, is that he's not doing it the way I do it.
mm-hmm,
That's not fair to him. It's like I want the kids to go to him. I want them to go to him for help, but then when he's doing it, I'm chiming in, because he's not doing it the way mommy would do it. And it's like he doesn't have to do it the way that I do it. He could do it his way as long as it's
mm,
the same outcome. But that's
right.
a struggle too, like to be able to sit back and allow him to do it. It's like you get
Mm-hmm,
so used to always doing it, and your way in your head becomes the right way. Like that's the
mm-hmm,
way it's supposed to be done. But that's not true. It's my way. But because I'm always doing it, in my head, it's like, oh, he's doing it the wrong way. And
mm-hmm.
it's
And
like,
that's so true. You're right.
yeah. And it's like he's not doing it the wrong way. He's doing it his way.
Mm.
They're getting the same outcome. They're getting what they wanted. But I'm like, that's
And
not
it's
how
funny you
I would
said
have done
that
it.
because I even say sometimes, like, "Oh, guys, if you want it done the right way, then you know who to go to, me," right? And it's just like, and then it's like, I feel like now they're even kind of saying it because they're like, "Dad, please, if you're only cooking, just cook breakfast and just stick to that, okay? And don't do anything else." No, and it's just like, so. I totally, totally get it. But yeah, I need to stop that because
Yeah.
maybe, yeah, and I agree. You agree too? We're gonna stop that?
Yes, I do need to stop that. I
We're
do
gonna
need to just
try at least.
I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna take a step back and just I'm gonna walk into another room. Like I'm gonna go in a completely different room and just not watch it? Like I'm just not gonna watch. I'm
Because
gonna
at the
mind my
end of the day,
business.
they are really helpful. They are. I know your
Yes.
husband and you know mine, and we lucked out. We did. We lucked
We
out.
did. I'm very grateful that the attempts are made, that there
Mm-hmm.
is effort given because, there's a lot of spouses, significant others that just feel like that's the mother's work. That's the mother's job. She's supposed to do it. This is the
Absolutely.
way it's supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
But it needs to be a team effort. And I'm not looking for it to be equal. It's never going to be equal in our
Right.
homes. We both work from home. So we're here when the kids get off the school bus. We're home. So
Mm-hmm.
most of the time they are going to come to us until daddy gets home from work. So I'm not saying it has to be 50-50 because that's impossible in our situations. But that the fact that he puts in effort, that's
Mm-hmm.
what's important to me. The fact that he wants to be the one the kids call on to and go to for help and he encourages that, that
Mm-hmm.
makes me happy. And I know for that to happen, I can't just put it on him. I can't just say, oh, you need to do it. You need to help the kids. I know because of our dynamics and what was created from our past that I have to be a part of the solution. I have to help with
Mm-hmm.
that change if I want the kids to go to them. But I am very grateful that, he wants to make that change and he is putting in the effort because I will never understand a parent that is like, okay, just let, the mom take care of it. Like you
Mm-hmm.
guys both went half on a baby. Okay. So we need to
Absolutely.
work together and we need to help each other to get through this whole, parenting journey.
Absolutely. One hand washes the other. and both hands wash the face. That's what I say.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So at the end of the day, what works for you and in your house is up to you. And if you like it, that's fine. And if you don't, try and change it. So this is the end of our second podcast. Please feel free to comment and also give your suggestions in the comment section. If there's something that you want to hear us talk about, please feel free to let us know. And also, go ahead, Miss Tammy.
That's wanted to say thank you for joining us again on PNT Moms. Hope you come back. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank
Yes.
you all.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.